A single lie can crash hundreds of cases. Here's how it happens and what it means for justice. In Texas, an officer's alleged misconduct triggered a sweeping review. Nearly 400 cases connected to his work are now under the microscope. Internal Affairs said the problems stretched over years, and video clips conflicted with written reports. That is the kind of mismatch that forces prosecutors and judges to recheck everything. Stay with me, because I will show the chain reaction step by step. The investigation found a pattern that stunned even seasoned lawyers. According to the probe, the former deputy failed to document about 70% of traffic stops over multiple years. 70% missing paperwork is not a typo. When basic records vanish, credibility craters and timelines fall apart. In one 2023 stop, body camera footage later clashed with the official narrative. The report described a clean interaction, but the video suggested items were taken and never logged. That instant raises two red flags at once. First, evidence handling. Second, truthfulness. When those go, juries start doubting every word that follows. Prosecutors responded with the only responsible move. They announced a review of every case tied to that officer. Supervisors added random audits for body cameras to catch problems before they spread. These are the first guardrails after a failure, and they signal how serious this is. But to see why one lie can kill a case, we need to talk about the rules that keep trials fair. There are two pillars you will hear in any criminal courtroom. One is the duty to hand over favorable evidence to the defense. The other is the duty to reveal information that could impeach a witness, like credibility issues. If video undercuts an officer's account, that is impeachment material. If a report omits items the camera shows, that is impeachment material. Those must be disclosed. If they are not, the integrity of the trial is at risk. Here is how a lie kills a case in the real world. Step 1 is credibility collapse. When an officer's words do not match the video, judges and juries doubt everything else in that file. Reasonable doubt grows, and the prosecution's burden gets heavier. You cannot rebuild trust once the foundation cracks. Step 2 is the poisoned tree problem. If a stop was not lawful or a report was not truthful, evidence that came from that stop can be suppressed. Suppression means the jury never hears about it. Without that evidence, cases can unravel in minutes. Previous arrests by the same officer get rechecked because the same issues might be present there too. Step 3 is the prosecutor's disclosure duty. Once the state learns there is significant credibility trouble, it must turn that information over. Sometimes that disclosure is enough to end a case because the witness can no longer carry the burden of proof. Other times, the state dismisses proactively rather than risk a trial that collapses on day one. In the Texas probe, Internal Affairs cataloged years of misconduct concerns and detailed stop discrepancies. Those are exactly the kinds of facts that force a district attorney to open every drawer and look again. Hundreds of prosecutions can be touched by a single pattern. That is why the review is broad, patient, and methodical. Quick favor while we are here. If accountability matters to you, share this now so anyone with an old case can check their records. You might help someone ask the right question at the right time. Policy is shifting too. The sheriff's office now requires random body camera audits. That sounds small, but it is a smart early warning system. Audits help catch missing uploads, mismatch timestamps, and report conflicts before they reach a courtroom. They also remind officers that the camera is not just a lens. It is a permanent record. Now let's talk about the turning point that changes everything. When the video and the report split, judges have to decide what they can still trust. Courts weigh the footage, the paperwork, and the testimony under oath. If the split is real and material, credibility drops to zero. At that moment, the state may lose key testimony, and with it, the backbone of the case. Defense attorneys describe what follows as a cascading failure. One proven lie can set off a chain reaction across the docket. Open files are reviewed for similar issues. Motions to suppress get filed, arguing that tainted evidence should be excluded. Old convictions may be examined to see if the same credibility problem was present at the time. This is not a technicality. It is the justice system correcting itself in the only way it can. Will hundreds of convictions be overturned here? It depends on how central this officer was to each case and what the other evidence looks like without him. Some files may survive because independent proof still exists. Some will not, because the officer's credibility was the only glue holding the story together. What we can say is simple. The review is already underway, and it will take time to do right. Remember the rule at the center of all this. Exculpatory evidence and impeachment evidence must reach the defense. That duty does not bend for convenience or speed. It is the rule that turns trials from a contest into a search for the truth. When agencies follow it, trust grows. When they do not, the system corrects them, sometimes loudly. There is a bigger lesson beyond one officer. Cameras are not just about catching dramatic moments. They are about catching small mismatches that would otherwise be invisible. A missing minute, a missing line, a missing receipt for property. Those details decide whether a case stands or falls months later. Transparency is not a slogan. It is policy backed by action. Random audits, clear evidence logs, and full disclosure make clean cases stronger and dirty cases impossible. That is how you protect victims, defendants, and the public at the same time. That is how you make sure the guilty are convicted fairly and the innocent are cleared quickly. One officer's alleged dishonesty can shake trust in an entire system, but the system has tools to repair itself when we insist on using them. Body cameras, open files, independent review. Those are the guardrails that keep a bad story from becoming the norm. If you or someone you know has a case touched by a similar issue, look for the receipts. Ask whether the video matches the report. Ask whether every item was logged and returned. Ask whether any credibility notices were issued. These are fair questions, and they are how the truth comes out. We will keep tracking this review as it moves. Policies are updating, cases are being screened, and the lessons are clear for every jurisdiction that pays attention. Trust is fragile, but it can be rebuilt with cameras, audits, and honest disclosure. Thank you for watching and for caring about accountability. Watch our police accountability playlist next for confirmed outcomes and real receipts. You will see officers fired, settlements approved, and qualified immunity denied when the facts demand it. Subscribe so you never miss the next update on this and other cases. Laws vary by state, and this video is educational, not legal advice.